Okay, so when we got to Cape Town, we saw that what they were doing was putting a bolt in here and a bolt in there and totally closing this thing. This was just a lid that lifted off. When we opened up, we found that the rudder bar that controls that rudder and that rudder runs along here. So around about 2 foot back from the aft edge. So what I did was I had them put hinges on the back of each of these. You can see there's one here and one there. And you can see we lift it up and we've got storage all the way from that pole there to the pole behind me. So in front of the rudder bar, we've laid a piece of the same plywood at about this point so that nothing can fall onto and inhibit the rudder bar in any way. Yeah. Here we've actually got the Lamar windows that have been taken off. And that we'll have repaired for the old ones. Also, what's been done on Utopia is shelving in the very back side of the engine compartment for storage. And on that, we're storing a heck of a lot.
Okay, so that's the water heater over there, and then inside these boxes we've got bottles of wine and that kind of stuff that's stored all safely there. This is our underway dustbin that sits nice and snug there. And on the opposite engine room, the same shelf is there. Obviously the water heater is the same, and we've got all the service items for the engine, extra oil and filters and pellers, that kind of stuff, are all stowed in the back here.
Another small plywood shelf that we put in, which is really small, but for some people it might be something that they like, is we have a pressure washer over here, and the pressure washer stands on a plywood shelf, and if our hose was long enough we could literally run the pressure washer from here without dragging it around the boat.
Alright, so we had the great opportunity while we were in Cape Town to see the boat without a whole lot of its panels. So we've discovered a whole lot of spaces that were actually covered up by normal panels, which most folk don't get to see. So these panels here are put on with a really strong, tight fitting Velcro. So to get them off is quite a mission, and normally there's just boat stuff that's behind it. But because obviously we were on the boat and we had opportunity to see, I've doctored this panel so that it comes off a whole lot easier. We had a guy in Cape Town put in a floor. It goes quite deep down. There's basically 2 to 3 layers, so it's basically that deep, right through to the back. This is the toilet paper storage, and obviously our DVD storage in the back there. But we've done this both on this side and also on the cabin on the other side that we had just walked through.
Yeah, I would venture to say that the two together probably close on a cubic meter of space gained.
The one on the port aft cabin is a way bigger space than this is. There I've got boxes with my sewing kit and craft items and whatnot in.
So we've moved some stuff out from under our bed to show you the spaces that we've created on both port and starboard aft under the beds. You can see below here there's a square shelf which is twice the size of a shoebox in terms of floor area, that we've created to cover and protect an outlet valve from the diesel tank. And then forward of that you can see we've got stuff on more shelving that we've put all the way across from the inboard side to the outboard side. And these 3 shelves, actually it's 2, the forward one is split in half, have created a huge amount of space for us. We put these 2 full suitcases in, as well as a lot of other clothing and stuff that just generally we store here for a long time.
We also found some hidden space. So underneath this floor hatch here, That's the normal storage in that hatch. But we also discovered that there was a huge area beyond these boxes. I will unpack and show you that now. Underneath this cabinetry, we discovered there was a whole big void there. So what we did was we had this panel which can screw on. We just obviously leave it loose so it's easy access. And underneath there, we had a shelf put so that it obviously raises the stuff off the bottom of the hull. Yeah, so that's all long-term storage. It just is boarded up like that. And if we really have to go in, it's a pretty easy way. So now to show you another secret hiding spot that we uncovered.
So in Cape Town, Melinda noticed that there was a panel that was screwed in over there, literally screwed in. In other words, not something that was supposed to be quickly and readily accessed. So we had the panel taken off, we opened it, and voila, there was all the space. So we had that shelf added at the center there so that we could double that space. And of course we had the panel, that's the exact same panel, turned into a door with added hinges so we could access it. So on the top there, I've got all my fishing gear, and on the bottom we've got a whole lot of other sailing type gear, and including, you know, grab bags and what have you. That was the first, let's call it, plywood shelf that we put into Utopia, but there's a lot. So we managed to get a lot of storage space with plywood shelving. Not the cabinetry that the Leopard do, that we've done, but actual plywood shelving. I'm going to lift up this first floorboard here, not because there's anything under here, but because this will help you see what is under here. So that shelf, we added that shelf, and you can see we've got a lot of provisions on that shelf. So that shelf, which is raised off the bottom of the hull, has given us a huge amount of space. Right. So the next bit of plywood shelving that we put in for even more space, we put in a piece under here, almost in an L shape, and a piece under where I am. And this is what that looks like. If Melinda can get in there, it's going to be very difficult to see all the way through to the back. But directly below us, you can see that shelf there. And we put our vacuum cleaner on that, and then going in all the way underneath there, you can see there's all sorts of stuff and another shelf. You can't really see it properly on the video because it's too close to it, but again, huge. So if you don't already agree that this Leopard 50 is the most well thought out Leopard on the market in terms of space. I mean, I can't think of anybody that's got more refrigeration space than us. I can't think of anybody that's got more actual storage space that we've created out of spaces people would never even think to do these things. After this, I think you're going to have to agree with that. So Melinda's getting into the forepeak, but you'll notice the way she gets in. She climbs on shelves which she's using as a ladder. So this is the port forepeak, and you can see those shelves there when Melinda moves ahead. And you can see we've got 3 shelves that we've put in, and these shelves go all the way around and are usable as a ladder, so they're strong enough as a ladder. But so over here we've also even put a light so that at night time, if we have access, we just run a hand over the little sensor switch, and the whole area lights up and we can see what we're doing. You can see we've put the supports in over here all the way down so that this shelf is going nowhere when you stand on it. A 150 kilo man, if he could get through the hatch, would certainly not break these shelves. And you can see we've got the shelves, all 3 shelves going all the way around. We've made sure we sized them for the average bottles and what have you. At one stage we had a lot of bottles here, and then of course Melinda still uses the bottom as a 4th shelf, the floor as a 4th shelf, and she's actually videoing from the very front of the forepeak, where we've got an additional shelf splitting the height of the front of the forepeak. You can see that shelf there at the very front of the basically in the bow, with a heck of a lot of stuff that we've managed to get on top. and as yet we're not too busy down below.
It's just all the unused sail bags and a couple of fenders that
Yeah,
are up
right.
there.
But again, so basically in here it's the 1 shelf forward and the 3 shelves aft that have given us a huge amount of space.
And then we discovered
Additional space. So
another bonus.
over here,
Hang on.
where Melinda's standing, that cutout is a floorboard that lifts up and went straight into the bilge. But we have built a floor at the bottom of that so we could stack stuff on.
So below the floor, we've had the same shelves or shelving system as that installed down here. And these shelves are very, very, very deep. So this top one over here goes basically almost all the way to the bottom of this floorboard there. And then there is another one below that, another one below that, and then beyond that pack of life jackets there is obviously the floor and a very deep low one at the bottom there for like long-term dinghy seat covers, that kind of stuff that we're not going to need in a hurry. And then inside here we've got basically all of our extra cleaning supplies that we don't need on a daily, weekly or even monthly basis.